Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Catherine, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the Category Explorer and the Listing Helper in Tangent Templates. And we have some exciting news. Those are all fully updated now to take account of all of KDP's latest changes over the last few months. And they are pretty awesome. The listing helper is better than ever, and you can create a full listing on KDP in probably about a minute or so using the KDP listing helper. It really is super fast to create listings using it. And also the Category Explorer now is a lot more useful. You can browse through all the categories that Amazon has, you can search for the categories you need, and you can bookmark up to 3 categories to use with your listing template in the listing helper. So these are really, really powerful tools, and I think it's going to make your KDP career a lot easier and make the process of finding categories and listing your books much faster and easier. So let's take a look at these. First of all, let's jump in and look at the Category Explorer. So when you log into Tangent Templates, this is what you see. Here's the general look of Tangent Templates. You have all the templates here. You can go to the designer tool to customize and design your pages. You have the Tangent Builder, the KDP helper, and then you have the listing helper and Category Explorer. And that's what we're going to look at today. So first of all, let's take a look at the Category Explorer. Now, this allows you to search through all of KDP's categories. This means you can find the best category for your book. So using the category browser, you can click on the drop down and browse through any of the categories that you see here. So for example, you could look at science fiction and fantasy, and then you can look at the subcategories. There you go. Fantasy there. And some of the subcategories actually have their own subcategories. So subcategories of fantasy are myths and legends, or paranormal and urban. So you can go in and you can select those subcategories there. And what you'll also find with the new categories on KDP is they also have placements. So these are even more specific places to put your books within the categories. So you have categories, subcategories, and then for some categories and subcategories, you have placements. So you can choose up to 3. So I'm going to pick, for example, we could pick Arthurian, and that would be a category there. And you can see it adds it here to your selected categories. Now, once it's added there, we can go and find another category for our book. So depending on what it is, maybe you want English history, you could go and browse through history, Europe, and I'm sure you can find, there it is, Great Britain. So you can go through here and choose England. So that could be a second category for your book. And you can see how that works out. So it will save your categories there. And then what you can do, if you have a collection of up to 3 categories that you like, that you are likely to use for your books in future, you can just put in a bookmark name. So if you were doing an Arthurian colouring book, you could save your categories there. And now, if you look at your saved categories, there it is, Arthurian colouring book. That's one of the saved bookmarks of categories there. So this makes it a lot easier to go and retrieve categories that you've found. You don't have to go and browse through them every time. So that's the category browser. It lets you browse through Amazon's categories, find the categories that are most suited to your book, and then save them here so you can reuse those in the listing helper. Now, if you don't want to browse for categories, you can use the category search. And this is great. This just lets you do, so if we were doing an Arthurian colouring book, you could search Arthurian, and this will find all the categories that mention Arthurian. Or, you can try other things as well. If there's King Arthur, I don't know if that would show up anywhere. Probably not. You could look up England and find any categories that have something to do with England. So again, another way to browse through the categories, you've got the browser and you have the search. You can go find your categories, make a list of them, and then save them here by doing bookmark your selected categories and save. And that's how the new Category Explorer works. Very easy and makes it so useful to just find what you need and keep track of it. So now let's jump into the listing helper. Now, for those of you who have been using Tangent templates for a while, you probably used the old listing helper. And not a lot has changed. We have just customized this so that it works with all the little extra things that KDP have added, the new categories, the adult content checkbox, the low content checkbox, and so on. So this is very simple to use. What it does is you enter all the details of a listing in here, and then it saves it for you. So for example, if you make a lot of notebooks or a lot of planners, you might have a template for the listing. And the listing includes the title, subtitle, description, keywords, author, categories, and all the little checkboxes there. And the keywords in particular are one of those things that if you make a lot of planners and they only have small differences, like maybe you make one planner about dogs and then you make another one about cats, then another one about, I don't know, pet fish, you might want to keep a lot of the keywords the same between your planners. So setting up a template listing like this, super, super helpful, because it means you can just go and list that book again on KDP, making minor tweaks for each variation that you have. So this is a very powerful tool. It means that you don't have to find keywords over and over again if you're using books that have similar keywords or similar categories. So I know sometimes low content and medium content books get a bad rap and people are like, well, it's saturated now. There's far too many low content books. There's far too many books on Amazon. And I have never believed this. I mean, I've been selling coloring books. I've been niching books like crazy. And that is the secret. There will never be too many books. There will absolutely never be too many books. But you might have too many books on a particular topic. So what you need to do is just keep your eyes open for niches, for ideas, for things that you get into, for things that your friends are getting into. So one idea I had is that I created this resin low content book. This is something I'm working on, called it Resin Magic. And I don't know if you guys have seen resin craft, but it's really fun. You pour resin into little molds and you can make toys, you can make like little keychains. I've seen people make things like coasters or little trays. Like there's all kinds of things. Oh, chessboards, that's a really popular one. People make chess sets out of resin. So resin crafting got really popular during the pandemic. A lot of people sell the crafts they make using resin. They sell them on Etsy or at local markets. So it's a really popular craft, and there's quite a lot of things to keep track of, like what you're creating, what you're selling, what you've got listed on Etsy. And some people do prefer, instead of keeping spreadsheets and things, they like to keep that in a book. So I thought that this would be a great topic for a low content book. So there's my cover there. I did make the cover using Midjourney. And here's the interior, which I just adapted from one of the templates in Tangent templates. So if I look at planners, you can see it was the This Week planner, and I just changed up some of the field names. So I just edited that. So it says this week's project, works in progress, supplies, completed projects, what you're selling, and what the weekly theme for what you're creating is. So this is just a simple idea. You would probably want to add to this planner. You might want to add like ideas for resin projects. And of course you could go to ChatGPT with this and be like, give me 10 ideas for great resin craft projects on the theme of animals. So, I mean, you can go to ChatGPT and get it to give you the additional content that you want to use in your planner to make it more interesting. So you could just pop this in as an extra page in your book. There you go. You can see ChatGPT is doing great. It's got animal themed, pet memorial stones, aquarium decorations. So you could put ideas into your book to give people ideas of what they could create using resin. So that's pretty cool. You could also even get ChatGPT to create instructions on how to do resin, safety tips when using resin, all of those kind of things. You get ChatGPT to help you with the content for those books. Remember to check it through, and if it sounds a bit too AI, like I know often AI uses things like embark on an adventure of creativity, you can rewrite that, but at least this will give you some structure that you can use in your book as well. So there we go, that looks great. That's the PDF for our cover. And then I'm also going to download the PDF for the interior as well. Okay, so there's the project interior, this week's project. So we are ready to go with our PDF for the interior and our PDF for the cover. So let's go over to the Tangent Templates listing helper and create a listing template for this book. Okay, so here we are. We have Tangent Templates. There's the listing helper at the top. So the first thing we're going to want to do is give it a title. So I'm going to call it Resin Magic. And I can put a subtitle. So I'm going to call it A Planner for Crafting. So the next part to fill out is the description of your book. And that is the part that's going to show up on Amazon in your listing. So you probably want to put a little bit of thought into this. And I know that a blank page like this can be quite daunting. So what you can do is actually use my Book Creator. If you have ChatGPT, use my Book Creator because it's really, really helpful. There it is, Book Creator from Tangent Templates, and it can do things like this for you. So you can say, write a blurb for a planner for resin crafters that would be suitable for including in a KDP listing on Amazon. And you can add more to this. You can say, use a friendly, warm voice and avoid cliches. So let's see what it comes up with. Unleash your creativity. Oh, well, yes, that is quite a cliched thing that AI says, and embark on a delightful journey. So you might want to rewrite this a little bit. I'm not going to waste too much time on that now. I'm just going to copy that across into the description. Want to get rid of that. We'll just say, welcome to the world of resin crafting. And I mean, you can go through all of this and change it up as you want. The description box here is specially tailored to KDP. So anything that it lets you do here is things that KDP will allow you to include in the listing. So some HTML, they won't let you include that. We have given you all the options, like the bullet points and the underlining, that KDP will let you use. So this is specially tailored to KDP. So there we go. There's our description in there. You probably want to go through it. Make sure you're happy with the description. And then here's the fun bit, keywords. So what you can do is go back to the Book Creator and you can say, please generate some keywords for my resin crafters planner, which is called Resin Magic. Okay, there we go. It's coming back with some keywords that you can use. So what you could ask it to do is actually say, please can you pick out individual words from this and organize them into 7 groups of, let's say, 8 words each. Perfect. Okay, so we've got planner, project, guide, organizer, workbook. These are great. Okay, and there's probably a few too many. So we don't actually need planner because that's in the title. So what did we have there? We had tracker, diary. Yeah, we've got room for tracker there. And what else have we got? Great, resin, art, crafting techniques. These are perfect. So you can go through these and curate them as you want. Creative, inspiration, brainstorming. I'm going to just leave it at those, but you probably want to go through these and really curate them. Make sure it has all the topics that you would want to talk about, like casting, molding, UV resin, and so on. Here's the great thing. Once you've done this, you have all these keywords saved and you can use them over and over again. So, I mean, if you want to make different versions of your resin book, like for example, if you want to make a monthly planner, a weekly planner, you want to make small planners that just have a few weeks, you want to make a really big jumbo one that keeps track of a whole year, you can do that really easily with Tangent Templates just by creating one listing and then tweaking it for each different book that you create. Now I'm going to put my name in here. You're probably going to want to use a pen name if you're doing something like this, but I'll just use my name for now. And then you're going to want to go and find your categories. So this is the fun part. We can use the category search and look for crafts. So there we go. You can see there's a lot of crafts in here. So let's take a look. We can do decorating, crafts for children. I don't think resin is actually in a category of its own. So you can't find resin as a category of itself. But we've got some craft ones there. We've also got sort of making. I don't know if that's a thing. There we go. Making, soap making, toy making, maybe. Okay. So then what we're going to do is call these the resin categories. And you can save that. And then what we can do is go back to the listing helper, do browse and select categories, and add to listing. And you can see that it just copies across all of those 3 categories. So that's really neat. It makes it really easy to add your categories to the listing. Now, yes, it's a low content book because it's a planner. No, it's not large print, and no, it doesn't have adult content. And we can give this a name. So we can call this Resin Magic Planner. And if you want to put any notes in there, you can put notes in. Those won't go across to Amazon. So when you're done, you just say save. Now here's the really fun part. We're going to go across to our Amazon dashboard on KDP, and we're going to click Create. So from here, you're going to choose paperback because it's a planner. And now this is where Tangent Templates is going to do all the work for you. So all of this stuff, you don't even have to look at it. You don't have to do anything. You can just go to your listing helper, which of course you need to be in Chrome. It will be there installed on the dashboard, and you're going to do refresh save listings because we just added a listing. And we're going to choose this one, Resin Magic Planner. And now if you watch, you'll see that it's filling everything out for you. Okay, so there it goes. And watch this bit. I love this when it's going through the categories. Look at this. I'm not typing. I'm not touching anything. It is filling all those categories out for you, so you don't have to do the work. Isn't that cool? There it goes. So your categories are filled out. So as you can see, it has done all the work for you. There's your keywords and there's everything else. So now you can just go on, continue, and upload your cover and your interior PDFs. And you're going to choose your free KDP ISBN, upload everything, and you are done. Like, this is such a quick process. Hopefully this will make everything a lot easier for you, the listing helper and the category browser. I hope you have a lot of fun using them and create some awesome books. All right, guys, thank you. Bye.